Okay, so the story for Gears of War 2, it takes place 6 months after the first game, and pretty much you're fighting, uh, you're fighting the Locusts again, and pretty much there's this it's called liquid emulsion. I'm reading this online. Emulsion underground to vaporize. It says there's this explosion pretty much, and it's causing this fatal disease called the rust lung to spread among the humans, and pretty much you're fighting to stop it, and it's pretty much, I guess, pretty much kind of like the first game, and it's just straight up war game. There's not a lot I mean, the story is better than the first one. Because I mean, I was watching Magus's video the other day, and he said, that the first game, Marcus is looking for his wife, and I didn't even know that. I mean, unless you, I guess, read it online. But this one, the story definitely moves a lot, along more, and the cutscenes and all the dialogue really add to the whole effect of the game, and it just moves a lot more smoother than the first one, and which is good because I know a lot of people said that they didn't like the first one just because of the story, and then it was just all eye candy or whatever. But I think the second one, the new game, is a lot more of a full rounded game than just shoot 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 and all that stuff. So the story, it's alright, but definitely an improvement from the first game. Okay, so the gameplay for Gears of War 2 it's a lot like the last one, but there's a lot more variety. All the controls are still the same, pretty much. You still have that, running motion when you hit A, and it goes to that back view, which I love. That never gets old to me. But when I say there's a lot more variety, there's just, I don't know, you're doing a lot more than just always. I mean, you're always controlling Marcus, obviously, but sometimes you're on turrets, and there's just a lot of different varieties other than the first one. I mean, you did do that in the first one, but I don't know, it's just there's just always more. I found sorry, I just can't spit it out, but I found myself just enjoying playing this game more. The scenes, this right here is cool, and this wasn't really in the first one. Here you have to shoot out the other car. You're heading toward a bridge, and you have to shoot out the driver of the first one to make sure that you get onto the bridge before they do. That kind of stuff wasn't really in the first one, and this adds variety to the gameplay instead of it just being shoot shoot, like that. So like I said, the controls are all pretty much the same as the first game, which is good, and it's definitely an extremely fun game to play. I mean, if you played the first one and liked the second one, if you played the first one, you'll definitely like the second one, is what I should say. Uh, I mean, not that not a lot has changed, but it's not Gears of War and it's an improvement, but I wouldn't say it's a huge step forward. But that's not necessarily bad because the first game, I thought, in my opinion, was great. So this just added to it. I know in my impressions I said that it's just Gears 1.5, but it's definitely a whole another game. But it took everything that made the first game great and just added to it on top of that, which is good, which is what a sequel should do. It should take everything that was good from the first game and make the second game better. So it definitely it definitely did that and did it very well. So it is a big, I guess, it is a pretty big step forward from the first game. Okay, so the presentation of the game is fantastic. I'll start with the graphics. I mean, as you can see, it's just awesome. Uh, the environments, the entire landscapes. I mean, look at the monsters in the back. I mean, it's awesome. There's one point in the game where you're just shooting a ton of locusts, and you're just spraying them all down. It just shows that how much they can put on like the screen how many enemies. I mean, look at that. I mean, the cinematics there are fantastic. I mean, look at them. Like, yeah, it's a cutscene, but I mean, it just looks awesome. Sorry, there's just a little load screen here. Uh, so I mean, the cutscenes look fantastic. The uh, the lighting, as you can see there, it's just it looks very nice. It's very well polished. The enemies look good. The voice acting is very good compared to the first one. I don't think that the first one was that bad, but I mean, this is a step forward in voice acting and all that jazz or whatever. Uh, and it just adds to like the whole, you know, I don't know what the word is, but it just adds that goodness to the game. The it's not corny voice acting. It really, and the cutscenes and the cinematics just make the game just run very smoothly, and you just really and one more thing later on in the game. I'm not gonna give it away if you haven't played it, but there's a scene, and it really shows. If you played the first one, you really get to know like all the characters, or whatever, and it does a really good job of making the characters seem real, and you get attached to them. And that may sound lame, but I think that's a really good quality of a good game. When somebody comes back in the game, and when he comes back, you're like, oh, nice, and it's really awesome. So the game does that well, and it presents itself very, very strongly.